Hello, and welcome to another episode of When She No Longer Wants to Cook for You, Here's What You Do. I'm Marcus. You should know my face by now. I've shot enough episodes, and listen, we're gonna have fun today. This is gonna be a fast-moving episode, so I'm talking fast, so you better catch up. I'm gonna show you how to cook a full-course meal in less than 25 minutes. Now, Marcus, you asked me, what are you cooking on in 25 minutes? You cooking a cup of noodles, or you cooking just boiling water and adding some flavor to it? No, I'm gonna try to cook a marinated steak, lobster, asparagus, and a potato, and we're gonna rock out like that. Put it this way: when she calls you and lets you know she's about to jump in the shower, by the time she gets to your home, that steak, all your entire meal will be made, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So listen, sit back, have fun. We're gonna have a good time as always, and we're gonna rock out. So be prepared. When she no longer wants to cook for you, I'm gonna show you what to do. Marcus is gonna show you what to do. So we'll be right back. See you soon. Hey, hello. Now this is the night before we're preparing our meal as far as the seasoning goes. Now right now, I have my meat, my steak, and my asparagus. And so you want to do this. You don't always have to do it the night before. You can do it 4 to 6 hours before you prepare your meal. But it's best that you season and let it sit. Cooking it and then throwing it on just doesn't work. You're not getting the best out of your meal. And so this is the proper way to prepare your meal. And so we're going to start that right now. So right now I have my steak, nice cuts right here. Really good cuts. We're going to season this down. The season I'm using, I'm just going to put some pepper, some seasoning salt, and some meat tenderizer. Now in the past, you've seen me asking, sometimes my girlfriend says over season. But in this particular case, we're going to use a powerful marinade that's really good. And so I don't need to season as much because the marinade is really going to take majority of the flavor that you're going to be majority of the flavor that you're going to be tasting. So we're just going to start it. We're going to jump in and just start, seasoning our steak. Now this is meat tenderizer. You want to use this. I mentioned in the past, if you're cooking any kind of meat, you want to use meat tenderizer. Not too much. Go easy with it. Flip that over, and these are nice pieces too, nice comfortable pieces, which is really good. Not a lot of fat on this steak, if you notice. I'll pick it up and show you. These are good pieces, not too much fat on them, so you're getting majority of the steak itself, the meat itself. Not to say that the fat is bad, but some people do like the fat. But in these particular pieces, not a lot of fat. We're going to go with some pepper. You'll be surprised how a little bit of salt and pepper goes a long way in preparing your meal. I'm not using salt, but pepper's good. Let me just drain this a little bit. Got a little bit of water on it. Okay. And last but not least, seasoning salt. My mom used to always use Laura's seasoning salt. It's been in the house for years, so I'm going to go with it. Now I'm talking low because it's at night and we don't want to wake everybody up, but this is just preparing it at night. Okay, that's pretty good. That's really good. So that's all the seasoning I'm going to use. Now what I'm going to do now, I have this marinade, which is really good. My girlfriend told me honey teriyaki. I don't know what's that about, but I smelled it. It's really good. Sherry recommends it, so I'm gonna roll with it. I advise you guys to roll with it as well because it is really good. Now you may be like, oh, that's a lot he's pouring on. No, it's not, guys. You know how we do it? That's really good. Let me grab a fork. Guys, as always, which you notice by now, always make sure your hands are clean. Always. That means washing your hands maybe a couple of times. And so this is how we're doing it. We're gonna flip that over. You already have, there's already seasoning on the bottom. And it's just really good. I'm gonna put a little more marinade. We're gonna overdose it. Just make it really good. This actually does smell good. It actually does smell good. So what we're gonna do now is put that in there. I have some little containers that I'm gonna use. I think I'm missing one. And so we're gonna actually put our steaks in these little cool containers. Just like this. And I like to take the marinade and put it on in there as well. Just let it sit. And this is gonna be so good. Like I said, 4 to 6 hours you want to do it. I'm doing it overnight just to get the best out of the meat and the flavor and really let it do its thing. Okay, I'm gonna put that right here. Now I'm missing one of my containers, but I can always, you know, do that later. Well, do it later. But you see how one steak just went in there, right? So I'm gonna jump to the asparagus now. The asparagus. And like I said, as you heard, it's gonna be steak, asparagus, lobster. Lobster I don't need to worry about, because that's just gonna be just butter and cooked in olive oil. You'll see that tomorrow. But I do have my asparagus, and I'm not gonna lie, I do season my asparagus. Some people don't. I like to season mine to make the flavor pop. And so, believe it or not, you're gonna trip out, but this tastes so good. I use Old Bay on my asparagus. Now, my tips have been washed. I mean, my asparagus has been washed. The tips have been cut. Make sure you cut it properly. If you look, there's nothing but green there now. And yes, it does kind of take away some of the size of it, but those ends are not good anyway. They're discolored, and you can kind of tell when they start cutting what the coloring is. You know, if you get a solid green, or you know, as you go further up, it gets more green. You know, this is a nice size. This is a nice cut right here. Yes, it is shorter, but it's a nice cut. So I'm gonna do, this has been washed already, but I'm gonna wash it again, and this is why, because I'm gonna put it in a bag to be seasoned, and I kind of want some of the seasoning to cling to the asparagus, and I think by wetting it a little, it's going to do that. And so I have my bag, and I'm going to put it in my bag right here, and I'm just going to obey it. Now I'm going to mix that around, kind of give it that feel, and let it do its thing a little more, and I'll let that be. I'm going to add the rest of mine. I'm just kind of got the look that I'm putting too much seasoning, so I won't do as much. Put that in there. Season a little bit more. And let that kind of do its thing. So that's a really nice smell right there. I'm gonna be honest with you, asparagus you really don't need to season. It has its own flavor itself. I do that because I love the flavor of Old Bay, and when I experimented with putting those two together, it came out really good. So that's why I do it. But you don't have to do it. Just be conscious of your seasoning. Just be conscious of your salt and your pepper, especially your salt. You know, and just make sure you're cooking. If you're cooking for a group of people, you want to be conscious, because people, the salt, the high blood pressure, and in those situations. this particular meal, this is a one-on-one meal. You know, you're trying to impress. So this is how we're gonna go, and just season really right. And so listen, this is going in the refrigerator also overnight, and that's our process right there. Our steak and our asparagus, we're ready to roll. We're ready to rock. Now we're gonna shoot forward into tomorrow, back to getting ready to cook the food. So I'll let you know how it turns out, or you let me know what it looks like. Take care. Okay, we're gonna get started now. We're about to rock out. Like I said, this is a main course meal, but it is 25 minutes. So I'm gonna show you how to rock out and get it done under 25 minutes. Okay, just to let you know, the music playing is JJ San Marino. Really good friend of mine, very talented guy. He's actually plays guitar for Maxi Priest, so that's really good. I'm gonna be playing all his tunes, and I'll leave his information where you can buy his music from. Please, it's really good jazz music, all right? But let's get back to the show, and let me show you what we got here, okay? We got our lobster, we got our steaks, we got our asparagus, and we're gonna have some potatoes in the microwave going. So we're gonna get started. So let's get started. I got my extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna be putting that where my lobster is actually gonna be, and it's gonna be right here, just to do our thing. A little bit of that. I also like to hook my asparagus in olive oil as well, so don't, a little bit of olive oil and butter in both of them. So I'm gonna put some in here as well. Okay. Now I know you're like, when are you gonna get to the steaks, man? Marcus, all that stuff is good, but when are you gonna get to the steaks? We're gonna get to that in a second. But I wanna put my lobster on. And we got our microwave. You just heard that. We got our microwave going as well. So this has been seasoned. I didn't go overboard with the seasoning. No need to. Just no need to. Lobster is basically I use some little seasoning. I use salt, pepper. And that's about it. I didn't really want to get too crazy with it because it's the butter and olive oil that really does the trick. So we're gonna start that up. And these portable cookers are really good. Like I said, you can cook in someone's home. You can take them with you. You can travel. If you don't know how someone's kitchen is, or you're not comfortable cooking in someone else's kitchen, you can bring your own tools and your own stuff and let that rock out. Okay, we got our steaks right here, which is really good. I'm gonna turn my cooker on. Both of these tools are on Farberware, so that's what I cook with. But you can cook with anything you want to cook with. George Foreman, whatever suits you. Okay, as long as it works, and that's what we need to happen. And remember, guys, wash your hands. So we got some New York chuck steaks, which really rock. They've been marinated in a teriyaki honey marinade, which smells really delicious. This was done, as you've seen in the video prior, seasoned and marinated the night before. So they're ready to roll and they're ready to do their thing. So we're rocking with that as well. I'm gonna put the other steak on. And all of this cooks really fast, so we have to stay on it. I love listening to JJ's music when I'm cooking. It just gives a good feel. And like I said, this is, we're doing this live, so there is no stopping. Once the plane is in the air, we're flying, and we're actually flying right now. So we're gonna get that cranking. Fella, just remember to wash your hands. You know what I'm saying? I think I said that already, but that's really important. And so we're gonna get that cooking right there. I'm gonna put it like on 350 and just watch it. So that's smelling like it just turned on. Nothing's really smelling yet, but that's smelling like it's just been turned on. So we're gonna rock with that. Potatoes are going. And remember, we're up against the clock because she just called you and told you she's jumping in the shower. And so we gotta get this going. And asparagus is right here. And I'm actually going to, since my hands are clean, I'm going to take it out with my hands. I love the flavor of the asparagus. I love putting, hold on, a little seasoning on the asparagus as well. And that's all I'm gonna put for now. May throw a little bit on later, and that's how we're rocking right now. So this is the point of the show where the food is cooking and we're waiting for it to heat up. So we're going to talk about some things. What do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about sports? You want to talk about the Yankees, Mets? I'm going to talk about New York teams because I'm from New York. And so Yankees are looking pretty good. Mets are looking even greater. And that's about all I'm going to say about that. Okay. So things are starting to heat up and smell really good over here. I have my asparagus over here. I'm going to need another utensil to kind of, because we don't want to use the same utensils picking food and doing that and all that stuff. So my assistant is going to actually hand me something else to mess with this, to stir the asparagus around and move it around and get it shaken, okay? And so that's where we are with this. I'm actually in Jersey. Thank you so much, you rock. I'm actually in Jersey, so I'm not in Harlem cooking this, but it's all good. I'm gonna turn my asparagus up a little higher, yeah. So I've been doing this show for a while now. Hopefully I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, but I want more guys to reach out to me. I want you guys on the show. I want you guys to, you know, if you see something I'm cooking and one of the guys are cooking and you're like, I could do that better, come on down, do it. It's a fun show. It's just a fun show and a great time. And, you know, like I said, I come to you. We come to your kitchen, and like I said, no kitchen is too big or too small for me and my crew. There's not really much of a crew yet. It's with me and Sherry Lewis. She works the camera. She does a great job. In a short period of time, I'm proud of her as well. She rocks out. And so things are happening already. I love asparagus. You don't have to season asparagus, but I do. I just love it. Because you're probably asking, why are you always cooking asparagus? It's healthy, it's delicious, and it's really, really good. Let me give you a nice, and this asparagus is a little thicker than what I'm used to cooking with. Let me just give the camera a little shot of it right there. And so it's a little, you know, a little thicker than what I'm used to, but it's still very tasty and very delicious. Kind of get in the habit of cooking asparagus. It's just really, really good. And there's different ways, as far as the lobster goes, there's different ways to cook it. Don't mind this light right here. I know it's a little annoying, but it's all good. We adjust to different situations, and sometimes you just have to adjust. So, like they say, don't look at the light. Don't go to the light. So don't do that. But no, this is really starting to smell good. But yeah, like I said, this show was inspired by my son, Remington. Just got tired of him being so comfortable with fast food and knowing the combo numbers. And so I took it upon myself to, you know, try to create, you know, a show that would encourage men, you know, just to cook. I always say for your date, get that second date, but it's also about family. Cooking is love. And just, you know, if you're cooking for a girlfriend or cooking for your wife, cooking for your children, that's love. And so, you know, I'm sure they appreciate going out to eat every now and then, but fast food and going out to eat should be every now and then. Us, man, we have to get in the kitchen. We have to start cooking more because it's just the way it goes. My son watches me cooking now. He tries to do little things in the kitchen with my supervision, of course. And so that's where we are with that. So actually, I'm in South Jersey right now, and it seems that their teams is like Philly team. So, and you know how Philly goes, their teams is like really like kind of rotten right now. But hopefully they have a game plan or something going on, how they're gonna figure this out. So let's drop some butter. I want to drop a little bit of butter, and something is starting to smell good. Drop some butter here. I'm gonna wait a little bit for the lobster tails to drop butter, but they should be up a little more. And so let's turn this over. Lobster's looking good. Wow, lobster's looking real good. Let's show that to the camera. Lobster's is looking good. You can get a close-up of that. That's looking really good. Lobster doesn't take long to cook, people, so we cannot take it for granted. It's something kind of like in the shrimp family. You just can't let it sit there and go and, like, you know, go watch the game. You got to be on it. Like I say, this is a fun show, but it is cooking, and so we have to be conscious of what we're doing. We have to pay attention, be in the kitchen when you're cooking food. We can easily be distracted by anything, unless you know we have a situation downstairs in the kitchen. So as fun as it is, as fun as cooking is, take it serious, okay? And so right now I'm gonna drop a little butter. Matter of fact, I need to check these steaks. And they are looking really good, actually. They're looking really good, really good. And so we're gonna just, with this griller, you don't need to turn it over. You don't need to turn it over. So that's looking, I want it to be a little hotter though. I think I need to turn it up a little bit more. That's good. And that is getting hot. So we're gonna take a small break. When Shinlong wants to cook for you, here's what you do. We'll be right back. Thanks. Okay guys, we're back after that little break. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We had a small technical difficulty problem. I had to run out and fix that, but we're back. Food is still smelling good, sizzling and popping. Listen, I wanna talk about the steaks real quick, because different steaks do different things. And you know, some steaks are used to add to other, like let's say you're cooking steak and potatoes or something like that. This is New York strip. Butcher helped me pick it out. Nice cuts. They're almost ready actually. So they're looking pretty good. I'm gonna actually lift the lid on that. You're gonna get a little, we're gonna zoom in on that for a second, just to let you know, these are really good steaks. Not that much fat on them. So if you like a lot of fat, you might wanna look at it. Some people love the fat of the steak. Me personally, I love more of the meat. So I'm gonna leave that as is. Actually, I'm gonna let that cook like that, so you guys can see what's going on under there. Very good steaks. So we got things popping. I need to turn this down a little. Dang. So this is what we got. We got asparagus cooking up. Really good. Now, asparagus, when it starts to bend, you'll know that it's almost there. It's almost there. And I'm gonna turn it down a little. Everything's popping really good. Let me just show you guys on this camera, and everything's smelling freaking good, guys. So that's, if you can see that, looking really good. The lobsters is really kicking it. Lobsters are kicking butt. So this is a race, right? At this point, she just called and she's out the shower. She's putting on her nice dress and she's on the way. So guys, we still have time. We're gonna be good, okay? We're gonna be good. Let's just hope for a little traffic. You get stuck in a little traffic, but we're gonna be good because we're rocking right now, okay? That goes there. Now we wanna check out our lobster tails. I'm turning this down, but they smell incredible. They're not cooked yet, but the smell is getting us there. And this guy does not want to turn over. He's a lazy lobster. Okay. You as well, turn over. I'm going to add a little butter to you guys. Come on, guys. Turn over for a brother. Okay, so that's, I'm sure the mic is picking up the sizzle. I'm going to add a little butter to this as well. Let's see what we got. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Right here. And so add a little butter to the lobster tails. Once again, that's my guy JJ San Marino playing. If you're loving what you hear, his information is going to be at the bottom of the screen. Please pick up his go to iTunes and pick him up. Great music, especially on a weekend, especially on a weekend when you want to unwind. So especially, and if you have somebody that's coming over, JJ's the one to put on. So his information should be down at the bottom of the screen right now. So this is going good. I'm sorry about that. And that's going pretty good. Now once it gets to the point it's almost just about cooked, you want to kind of turn your burners down a little bit. This steak is just about done. I am going to turn it over though, so you can see what's going on here. And that looks really good. I'm gonna hold that up to my other camera, get a nice view of that. That is really good steak. And at this point now, it's fully cooked. You can actually cut into it, and it's just really, really good. Okay. And so I'm not even gonna put the lid on that, down on that. And that marinade I soaked it in last night. It's really smelling up the house really good. And so that's where we're at with this. So we're just about done. She is pretty much 10 minutes away. Let's be real, she's 10 minutes away. But we're just about done. When she comes in, she's gonna smell that aroma of the food and everything. And so that's gonna really rock out. And so once again, I'm gonna show my cameras where we're at. I dropped some butter in there. You know, so now that butter is all on the lobsters. Lobster is really doing good. You can see that. Not fully cooked yet, but we're almost there. I think I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Got it on low. Asparagus. I'm sorry about that, guys. Asparagus. Asparagus. I love asparagus. I love asparagus. You may have seen me cook it in a few of my meals, but I think it just adds balance to your meal. It's healthy, and it just does so much to a meal, I feel. If you season it, that's a bonus, because you know, with vegetables, a lot of people don't like vegetables. I feel if you add a little seasoning to it, it helps it along the way. So I'm watching the news this morning, watching a little bit of CNN. I'm looking at the race and everything, and I know this is like, how do you go from cooking to politics? But I honestly feel that it's time for Bernie to drop out at any point. At this point now, you know, him and Hillary going back and forth. At this point now, it only affect, you know, only the swing. It only can pull in the swing voters, and you know, and that could be hurtful for Hillary. She pretty much has it wrapped up on, you know, whether you want Hillary, Bernie, she pretty much has it wrapped up, and I feel that at this point, Bernie is only hurting the party. So Bernie, listen, it's time to kind of drop out. And just as Hillary had to drop out to Obama years ago, you got to know, you know, if you're hurting your party. He actually said this morning that he's not dropping out. God bless him, he has a lot of good ideas. I just think his momentum, he just caught momentum too. It just didn't happen fast enough. But he is talking VP, or he didn't decline when they said VP. So that's my politics little segment while this meat heats up. And that's been a minute since I've been in front of the camera, and I've learned quite a few stuff from a lot of guys that has been on. And it's just a really fun show. I can't wait to dip into this. You know, my lobsters are dancing in butter. My asparagus is pretty much telling me they're just about done. Let me just turn you over. And, you know, like I said, you know, the information on the show is going to be on the bottom of the screen. If you see something that maybe I'm doing wrong, or, you know, you want to add to something, be on the show, we travel to you. I want you as comfortable as possible in your own kitchen. And I want you to try a lot of the stuff you see on the show. You know, I've had guys on my show, and I went home and tried their recipes and just, you know, rocked out. And, so, you know, it may not come out as good, but just try it. You know, surprise the ladies, surprise the kids. It's a fun show. You know, just have fun with it. Have a good time. You know, you want to add some music or whatever, or, you know, in your kitchen cooking it up. The aroma will speak volumes. It'll get people out of their bed. It'll get the kids off the PlayStation. It'll get the wife off the phone, gossiping with the girlfriend. And just, they'll come down. They'll be like, wow, what are you doing? And I would love if you would say, like, you know, I watched that show. When she only wants to cook for you, here's what you do. And I kind of learned it from there. And that'd be a blessing to me, man. Because I'm looking to educate. I'm looking, you know, to bring families back together in the kitchen. And so this is a good way to do that. And so think about it. You want to be on the show? I would love to have you on. Okay? Don't be intimidated. Don't look at something and be like, well, my kitchen doesn't look like that. Or that kitchen, don't look at that. It's not how the kitchen looks, it's what's coming out the kitchen. If you can throw down, I don't care how small your kitchen is. I don't care if your kitchen is small as a pantry. We're there. We're going to shoot it. And we're going to rock. Trust me. Let me just get you through this, okay? So think about it, okay? So let me see what's going on. Now, the steaks I'm going to turn off. They're pretty much done. The steaks are done. I told you this is a good meal in a short period of time. So the steaks are done, okay? So that is coming down to, you want to kind of turn that off. The thing with steaks, though, you got to be conscious because they dry out fast, okay? So We're gonna let that sit for like a short period of time. This is going straight on the plate. Okay, this is not gonna sit around. You know, it's going straight on the plate. You know, my lobster is looking good. My asparagus is, I think, pretty much done. You know, they're bending now, and that's a good thing. That's how you know asparagus is done. They're bending now. You know, they're grilled and they smell really good. You know, I'm really proud of that. Let me show you guys. Let me show my people on camera how that's looking right there. And so you see how they're bent up, not bent up, but bent. That's when we're ready. That's when we're rocking, and it smells really good. It smells really good. Lobster's starting to take over the room now. The lobster smell is really starting to take over. So that's coming down as well. I'm sitting out on a low simmer. You know, the funny thing about lobster is just the smell of it is just so good. You know, the smell of it is just so good. And so that's pretty much done. I think she's like 3 minutes away, and so we kind of want to wrap this up, okay? But listen, as you cook, things happen. It's not what you do, it's what you do to fix those things. Like I said, we had a small power issue. You know, I had to, you know, cover the food and run out for like 5 minutes, make it happen. But you never, you know, when you're cooking, never let that, well, anything in life, never let that slow you down. It's not what you do. You know, anything can happen. You always got to have a plan B on anything you do. And our plan B was, you know, I wanted to deliver this to you guys. And so I had to run out and make things happen because I believe in you guys cooking. I believe in the show. And I love doing this. You know, I love doing this because I think this really brings families together. And so I'm going to taste a little bit of my asparagus. And I think we're going to be done. I love listening to JJ, man. I mean, I love listening to JJ Santanarino. He's just a good guy. So check him out on iTunes. Check out some, you know, he has some videos on YouTube as well. You know, I had the pleasure of going to one of his shows and, you know, shooting some footage of him. And that's been really, really great as well. So we're going to bring that down to a simmer. Right, we're going to turn it off. I just want to get a nice piece. Not burn myself like I have done. That's ready to rock. That's good. And that's ready to go. So listen, I'm going to start preparing the plates because I think she's pulling up right now. So I'm going to start preparing the plates, you know what I'm saying? You might want to have a bottle of red wine or, you know, Kool-Aid, who knows? Whatever you drink, just enjoy it. You just cooked a hell of a meal. And so we rocked out. So let me get my plates ready. Steak is smelling really good. So we're gonna grab a piece of steak. Oh boy. Wow, look at that. That's looking great. That's looking really good, okay? And not to mention, I told you earlier, we were gonna have potato. Okay, and if she doesn't like asparagus, she's gonna like it today, man. Ah! I grabbed the wrong thing for asparagus, but let me kind of put a couple on there. Okay. You know, my guys had a few great guys on the show. I mean, actually, all the guys that come on the show are great. And I'm going to tell you why, because it takes a lot to get in front of the camera and expose yourself in your cooking skills. And so I applaud them. A lobster. Get off. Okay. And I'm still working on presentation. You know, I've learned from a couple of guys on my show. I should have mastered it by now, but I'm still working on that. And I'm gonna reach across and grab a potato. And so this is our meal, guys. And I hear a car pulling up right now. So this is our meal. We have asparagus, lobster, steak, and a sweet, oh, not sweet potato, but a nice tasting potato. And this is what we're looking at right here. And so that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rotate it for the camera. And that's where we are. So listen, when Shelon cooks for you, this is what we do. This was a nice quick meal, under 25 minutes. She would think you were slaving in the kitchen, but you really wasn't. And try it, guys. Don't be afraid. Try it. Rock out. Have fun with it. And let me know. Information will be on the bottom of the screen. And let me know how everything turns out. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys, tuning in. Blood, sweat, tears, and prayers, how I roll. And so I just appreciate you guys watching. When she no longer wants to cook for you, Marcus showed you what to do. Have a good night, guys.